Many people in the United States can't afford insulin. The average price for one vial of insulin is about $285. Most diabetics need 2 to 4 vials per month. But here's the thing, insulin prices weren't always this high.
Inexpensive, easily accessible.
A type 1 diabetes diagnosis was a death sentence before this life-saving discovery. Without insulin, an essential hormone that regulates blood sugar, your body can't regulate how much glucose enters your cells, and your cells starve. The medical researchers who patented their invention in 1923 wanted insulin to be affordable for even the poorest sufferers from diabetes. The most recent was about 15 years ago. Insulin's still an old drug. It's shocking that the price has increased so dramatically. When a drug has been on the market for enough time, its patent expires, ending its reign of market exclusivity and opening the door to generic competition. This should drive the prices down. There are only 3 manufacturers making insulin for the United States drug market, and the prices of their competing products have risen at the exact same rate. Even though the manufacturers have said that they set their prices independently, this shouldn't happen in a competitive market. So you might think that some essential innovations happened in the past few years to warrant such a price increase. Well, think again. So the product hasn't really changed, just the packaging and delivery. And the high prices have pushed people to crowdsource money using sites like GoFundMe. So how are these skyrocketing prices determined? The manufacturers make the drug and set the price. This is part of the reason why insulin is so expensive. There's no limit to how high the price can be set, and they don't have to disclose how they set it. The manufacturers negotiate with pharmacy benefit managers to be placed on PBM formularies in exchange for rebates. These rebates and negotiations also don't have to be disclosed. Formularies are a list of medicines that the PBM offers. The PBM negotiates on behalf of insurance companies, and the manufacturers give rebates to PBMs in exchange for lower placement on an insurance tier system. The lower placement usually leaves the patient with one option, as it's the most affordable. It's a good place for a brand to be, but it's not always great for the patient. It leaves them with one option, and that option might not even be what their doctor prescribed. And at this point, it's safe to call what's happening an insulin crisis. So why isn't the FDA intervening? The US does not regulate prices. So that's part of the answer. Insulin's expensive because it can be. There's no limit to how high the price can rise. The FDA regulates and approves drugs and grants patents. In the US, a patent excludes others from making an invention for a limited time, usually 20 years. Some critics think that manufacturers of insulin are abusing patents, but patents aren't the reason why a generic insulin doesn't exist. Unlike chemical medications like Advil and Zestril, there's no generic insulin. The FDA approval process is lengthy and usually more expensive. In fact, out of all medicines in the US, there are currently only 17 FDA-approved biosimilars. In 2016, a follow-on biologic insulin, which is close to a biosimilar, was approved by the FDA. It was made by one of the 3 manufacturers, Eli Lilly, which didn't exactly add a new competitor, and it didn't really help the price decrease, which leaves patients on their own to find another option.